wanted me to do something?
No. I'm trying to get a tweet. I need the YouTube link for the live. Hey, folks, we're live. Hello. If anybody is watching at the moment, but I just want to tag Steven and all those folks. Hey, folks, we're live. Let's see. Oh, crap. The YouTube link's too long. So what's happening, buddy?
Lots of good new pools on QuickSwap. Again, I go back to that all the time. It's an easy place to start if you like some of the stuff on the board. I've been spending a lot of time today, also looking at, kind of the broader market. In essence, the sort of, because I see certain ones pumping now that I didn't expect to pump at this point.
Yeah.
Like the curve, the Aave, all of that. I kind of expected that to pump after, a BTC, price discovery mode, ETH price discovery, all of that. So I'm not quite sure where we are, and I'm trying to figure that out. And everything about, thank you. On exchange volumes are low. There's just not a lot of supply out there. All those things that make me decide, hey, does this have the next leg up, or is this going to go sideways, how's it affect all the stuff we're playing in?
Right.
So I'm curious, you kind of cover a lot of I kind of do the macro stuff down to crypto essentially. And I'm wondering, in your mind, what are you kind of hearing in all your, water cooler talk, basically, in your other chats?
About what I should be in?
No, where does everybody, is everybody thinking that the BTC leg up is still coming?
Oh, yeah. So actually, here, let me pull up our new version of Fire Charts. It's kind of a cool thing to do. Let me put this in. Let's just take a look. Let's you and I assess while we're here, Joe.
Sure.
Not that I am any good at this, but my buddies are. Let's see. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and see what it's got it's the newest version of our Fire Chart. Lets you adjust the intensity of the fire and reduce it. And so
share your screen. You haven't shared screen
yet.
Yet.
Shit. Thanks, Joe. I would have
Yeah, it'd be a perfect sale because everybody would be like seeing exactly what they want to see.
So this is the new version. It allows us to adjust the intensity and separate out the volume percentages, which is pretty cool. So, we got some 4.3 million at 60K, probably about a total in this range of like 10 million. So that's not overwhelmingly wonderful support. This is getting eaten away. There's 5.762 million up here at 62, but you can see that it's already lost about 3 million of intensity on the resistance up there. Now up ahead though, 62,497, it's got about 7 million in there. I would say all of it's doable. I'm just not seeing a lot happening down below. Looks like 60, we're building up a little resistance. 58's got some really nice resistance there. Let's see what ETH's doing, although they've been so tied I was really hoping ETH was going to break away on its own. And
yeah, me too. That's kind of what the big thing I'm looking at is, the fourth quarter is supposed to be a booming quarter for ETH with all the deflationary stuff and the burns and all of that. And I don't know, I'm trying to read, are people trying to load up more or what? Because there's I'm just looking at Binance, but, there's like 50 million at 4,400, another 20 at 4,500, 25 million at 4,300. But below it, I don't see as much support as there was the last couple of days. So
yeah, there's not a lot happening here.
I haven't seen a lot of money move up from like 39.4 to 4,100. It seems like, there's still 10 million, 11 million there. Don't get me wrong. But I was looking at it the other day and it was like, 46 or something. And you're like, it's not going to get through that.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing a nice move, actually, the last 15 minutes. Somebody's doing some buy-in. So I don't know, but I don't see anything that worries me here. I'm just think it's all waiting to see when does it go to price discovery mode at this point.
Yep.
But then you look at what do you think in general is going on?
My gut.
We're just guessing. We're guessing.
Yeah,
here.
my gut is we got more to go up, and I feel good now. You know, do I know what I'm talking about? Do I swing trade? No, I do not. You know why? Because I suck at it. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But overall, I feel like there's some room to go, and I think, you know, I don't know if everybody keeps saying 100K by the end of the year, which is like a 35% move from here. I'm not enthusiastically embracing that, but I like the way things look. I like that this dump yesterday took us, you know, and we're recovered already. I think it shows a lot of strength in the market, and I think that, you know,
people are buying the dip at this level. Yeah.
The other thing about this dip is, you know, our mean reversion indicator. I've been in about 250 trades in the last 24 hours. It's been a good 24 hours, really good 24 hours. So,
so when we talk about this, everyone, it's more about, so when is everybody going to say, oh, okay, BTC 85,000, they're going to trim some of that, or when's ETH going to trim? And then that money usually rotates into what we talk about all the time, DeFi and ETH and stuff. So that's how we're sort of, you know, you always want to get to where the money's going to go before the money goes.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's what we're just trying to be a little more granular on, you know, what's going on. So then when I look at like Curve and Aave and stuff, then I have to think in Phantom that there's more to come here.
Yeah.
Even though they're up 4 or 5x in recent, you know, you look at BTC, I think that's up 45% in October. Is that right? Am I looking at that the right way?
Hold on. I'll tell you. I'm loading up one of your links on the other side here. Let's see. Where's October? Right here. So let's take it.
It went from like what, 43?
39.73% since the first.
Yeah. So 40% basically. And then in these other ones that we're talking about, you know, you've done 450%.
Yep.
So that's what we're trying to figure out is, you know, when does that leg up more, or when does one topple a little bit and the other goes? You know, I don't see it yet.
Yeah.
But I feel good about everything. So look,
I do too. I'm a happy camper right now.
So when you're in these situations of like, hey, not sure what's up, and then you're sitting there looking at a yield farm where you can get 12 million% or 200% or 150% on something that's just sitting in your wallet, then go get that yield.
Yeah.
Or if it's something you're a little worried about, is there like a short-term 20% hit coming on something, put more in that yield farm. Because that way you go ahead.
Or you can be like this guy.
What's this guy doing?
This guy bought $8,000 worth of sheep 400 days ago. It's now worth $5.7 billion, and he hasn't touched it.
I've heard some crazy stories like that. I mean, that's also the thing that we should touch on is, you know, it's clearly dog season or whatever with, you know, all what we tend to bully and pick on, worthless shit. But it's, in the end, it's gambling. I don't know. Is it the racetrack? You know, are the horses running and they're just dogs? I have no idea. But the fact is, people are making money off this.
Dude,
but you know,
stupid money.
When you see like the sheep guys talking about, you know, there's actually an ecosystem there. Now, I have never even looked at any of this stuff, to be honest. But I kind of think it's getting to levels. You know, when this happened last time was in May, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a precursor for that June, July adjustment, let's say.
Yes.
So that kind of thing, this is the stupidest money showing. Nothing personal to anybody who's making money there. I wish I had done it too, okay? But, you know, it is what it is. So when this happens, it's usually a lot of retail people FOMOing in to go make, you know, 150 times their money off of, you know, $40. And, you know, not all of them do that.
Look at this. 39 billion, 191 million, 41 billion, 167 billion. The battle of the memes.
Yeah. So brings us up to one of
and then we got this meme, XRP. I would love for sheep to pass XRP. That would be fun.
Yeah, well, they're gonna hate you for that. But there's another. If you want to play the dog thing, there was this one I was involved in months ago, and I did like 400%, and then bailed, and then bought some back, which then it eroded. But it's called Poly Doge.
Poly Doge. Joe's holding that Poly Doge.
So it's got this like Bart somebody who's like a white boy rapper dude who's has released videos, I guess, but all his followers are in China, and so this thing's gone up and down. This is one that's got like basically nothing there at all. It's super cheap. I think I'm sitting on a I don't know about billions of them, but millions of them, let's say.
Yeah,
it's probably worth $12 at this point or something. But the point is, if you want to play something fun, I've seen the messaging starting to pick up. Also, Brad, we should be ready with kind of that social sentiment type rating stuff when we're talking about things.
Yeah.
Because when something like this is going into like a pump mode, usually there's people chatting it up in various channels around, social media world or crypto, Twitter, and all of the other stuff. If we see that kind of stuff, because I'm picking it up, but if we see that stuff, then we know that people are putting it into play.
Yep.
So, think about that. But, this guy, Bart something and the Poly Doge guys, I mean, I don't know. But, it's kind of nice to sit there.
I like jumping into these every now and then. Speaking of which, we've got Steven, the calculator guy, with us. I'm going to bring him in. Steve, you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Welcome, man. Thanks for coming.
Hey, my pleasure.
I shouldn't have said speaking, because Steven has nothing to do with Poly Doge or meme coins that I know of. But Steven is, and I'm not blaming you, and I know it's not financial advice, and it's actually a good thing. Steven is the reason I'm up 6x on Smartcoin, because I'm having so much fun just watching the psychology of this friggin' thing.
It's definitely game theory. If you know how to play stocks, if you know how to play cryptos, then you can make a lot of money. A lot of people are going to lose, so I'm glad you're up 6x. I exited at around 3x, and I am perfectly happy with that.
Sure. Nah, me too. I just decided I wanted to see how it plays out, and I really want to see where it goes. And I didn't put enough in to care, but now I care. It's fun. And they have not disappointed with the psychological games. I am having so much fun monitoring their Telegram while I watch the stuff they put out on Twitter and then their new videos. I'm having an absolute blast watching this masterclass in psychological manipulation of a mass of people and their money.
A lot of people are going to pay their tuition, but I think if you've been in crypto long enough, you can sort of see the signs and signals, and hopefully you'll make some money.
Absolutely. So I want to introduce Steven. Steven, besides doing a really good Smartcoin video and warning the hell out of people that it was risky and not to jump in, and he was just doing it to have fun and make a little money and see what happens because it was so ridiculous, the APRs. Steven is one of my favorite people in DeFi because Steven creates tools that I use constantly, like constantly. The man creates awesome videos and creates these amazing calculators and gives them away to all of us to figure out what the hell we're doing. And I am a much better participant because of Steven. So thank you very much, Steven. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. And unfortunately, the Rebase calculator you're using right now, the live pricing on CoinGecko is not affecting.
I'll turn it off.
You have to unclick that.
Cool.
And you may want to make a new copy. I've updated it for the formula.
Awesome.
I posted it. But yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully I can crank out some more of these calculators in the near future.
How did you end up in all this, man? What's your background?
So my background is I'm a teacher. I'm like a philosophy and English teacher. But,
nice.
I love spreadsheets. I was a teacher. Now I'm sort of doing crypto full time. But
wow,
I love spreadsheets.
Crypto is claiming the educational system of America.
Yeah, that's right. And basically, I got in strong on a tip from Daniel. I don't know if any of you guys know Daniel. I don't know how his last name is pronounced, like Buchholz, but great guy, amazing guy. And anyways, or I am Gru, another good guy on Twitter. So they got me into strong, and I was like, okay, this is interesting, but I have no way of tracking my investment. So I created this sort of small calculator and gave it to the strong community on Telegram. I kept building it and building it and building it, and people liked it. So I decided to make some more for the other investments that I was in. And then people wanted to pay me, so I started making even nicer ones
Nice.
for a few certain communities. But 95% of all my calculators are free. The only ones that are not free are the Strong Block Pro calculator, the Strong Tax Estimator, which takes your MetaMask data, parses it, and gives you all of your strong purchases, all of your strong claims, all of your strong maintenance fees, as well as allows you to enter deductibles or click on deductibles, and gives you a tax estimate of what you might pay given how your particular tax situation will work.
I have done nothing with Strong. Joe, you've mentioned it a couple of times. Can you give us a little background on what Strong is?
Me?
No, I meant Steven, but you can too, Joe.
Yeah, no. I was going to say I'm not that up on Strong. I may have relayed it in. It seems to tie into, the Omi Wonderland type plays to Abracadabra, where you're locking stuff and get.
There's a lot of overlap with the communities for sure. So I'd say a lot of the Omis are sort of people who've taken their profits from Strong and sort of want to do some stuff with it. So Strong is a nodes as a service sort of company. So you create Strong nodes, which are currently ETH1 nodes and DVPN nodes, but soon to be Phantom, which I love the Phantom blockchain, Phantom nodes and Polygon nodes, two of the biggest blockchains aside from the Ethereum blockchains.
As in proof of stake nodes.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, well, so the Ethereum 1.0 are full nodes, so I think they're probably gonna be full nodes for the other chains as well.
Okay.
So basically, what happens is you contribute 10 Strong, and Strong Block will create an Ethereum 1.0 currently node for you. 2.0 nodes are in the works, and that's your node. You own that, and then you'll get paid 0.0912, roughly 0.1 Strong per day. So it's a really great passive income opportunity. It takes about 108 days to get your return on investment back, but after that, it's free money and you're getting it. And your node is set up sort of infinitely. It's really cool. Yeah, there it is. You can compound your nodes on my calculator. You can sort of do some node compounding. So like if you were to compound, you would go from 1 to 2 nodes in 108 days, then 2 to 3 nodes in 54 days, something like that. And then clearly exponential increase to where you can start creating nodes per day.
So this is a token that's actually creating utility on the blockchains that it's working on, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can use your nodes too. So I currently use one of my Strong nodes to run all my Ethereum transactions.
Nice.
There's no benefit. I mean, maybe you get a little bit less congestion, which is nice, but like you don't get to avoid gas fees or anything. It's kind of cool to use your own node as an endpoint.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's great. So you're contributing to the blockchain, right? And you're also earning nice passive income from it. And then you're saying that a lot of people were then taking that money and buying Ohm or buying time or whatever because
that's right. There was I forget I don't know who the very effective shill was who came into one of the Strong telegrams and was like, hey, there's this thing called Ohm. This was before it's crashed down to like 200 when it was at like 400, which is an amazing price now. So yeah, the very effective shill said, look, here's this thing, has a crazy APY, crazy APR. Here's sort of how it works. And here's its mission. And so a lot of us jumped in. A lot of us got burnt immediately because it went from like 400 to 600 down to 200. But then it climbed back up sort of meteorically.
Yeah.
And now, a lot of Strong people are crossing over with Ohm, and a lot of Ohm people are crossing over with Strong. I don't know if you guys follow Jaws, who is a funny tweeter.
They are hilarious.
But so he's even mentioned that there's a lot of overlap in the Strong community. And David Moss, the CEO of Strong, has said that he's considering doing some things with like bonds as a service or other ways to grow the treasury.
Oh, nice.
Monetize the treasury. So,
well, I could definitely see some crossover there, right? Like automate your earnings into pools or whatever. So that's great. That's really cool. So would you want to share your screen with a couple of your calculators? And are you cool with that?
Absolutely.
Let me turn off mine.
Okay.
Oh, wait, did I just kick you off? No, you're good.
No,
we're all here.
Share.
At the bottom should be a share button.
Yeah, it is. I just have to figure out which screen I want to share.
Oh, okay.
Okay, not the hentai.
So you're full-time DeFi now.
Yeah, I am full-time DeFi. That is correct.
Wow. I've seen a child running through your videos the other night. How many kids do you have? You have 3?
3 kids, yeah.
Wow. And does your family understand your full-time DeFi now?
Yeah. So actually, I've almost retired my mother.
Nice.
Really nice.
Wow.
So I got her into Strong too. We both share sort of the Strong wallet and have half of the nodes each. I got her into Ohm really early. She's already made 6x, I think, on her Ohm.
That's so awesome.
So she's also now in Time and in Free. So she's in a few other projects, and she's looking forward to retirement, which is great.
Dude, that's such a good story. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's even better because in 2017, I tried to get her into Ethereum and Bitcoin, and I got her in, and she kept buying all the way to the top, and then it crashed down. She lost like $10,000, sold everything, and now I've made her much more than $10,000, and we're even. We're good.
That's good. Yeah, because there's all that guilt that goes along with recommending.
Exactly. She never held it against me, but I always sort of internally felt,
Yeah.
Around those family gathering holidays are always fun.
Yeah.
Right.
I pushed my mother-in-law in. All I could get her to do was buy a little Bitcoin, but she's a happy camper right now. So
yeah. So I am sharing my screen, but I don't know if anyone else can see.
Oh, maybe I have to add it. Sorry. I do. Okay. Now we're in.
All right. So let's go with the original, the OG calculator, the Strong Calc. So this is the sort of the first calculator that I ever made for a community in crypto. And you can sort of look at, the price of Strong, I think right now is maybe 1,100.
Okay.
So with one node, you can, not 11,000, that'd be crazy. With one node, you essentially are making the median income of an American.
Wow.
Median income salary. So one node costs 10 Strong plus gas. You can claim whenever you want. You can claim immediately, but you get.
So about 10 grand for a node or 11
That's
grand
right,
for a node.
Yeah. Exactly. And so you enter your number of nodes, so you get rewarded per block. Every 7,000 blocks, a Strong node operator gets 0.1 Strong. We do about 6,400 blocks per day. I don't know if you guys follow the Ethereum blocks. So that's why I made this an option for you guys to mess with. Bronze, silver, gold, and platinum are NFTs that actually boost your rewards. So they're functional NFTs, or nifty-fi NFTs, as David Moss calls them. And claims per month, you enter how many times you claim per month, and this will determine how much gas you end up paying per month.
It's kind of compounding.
Yeah, and so over here there is the compounding calculators, which is pretty cool. So let's say you have one node, and you compound for 365 days, which means every time you hit 10 Strong, you compound. You could create 14 nodes in 1 year, and then with 14 nodes, your salary would be about $513,000 a year.
Holy crap.
Starting off with one node. I mean, this is granted the project remains stable.
Of course, and the price stays, and yeah.
But the market cap is, I believe, less than 200 million. Maybe even remarkably less than 200 million. And
that's incredible.
Working very well for me and my family, for sure.
So you're essentially, you're earning for the work that you're doing with this node, you're earning Strong tokens, which just increases your ability. So there's an action to actually buy a node once you have enough Strong accumulated, or is that automated?
It's not automated. So
okay,
you can claim whenever you want, and you can choose to buy another node with your claim if you'd like to, or you can sell or transfer, swap, whatever you want.
Yeah. I love the automation of Ohm, but I actually think that the dopamine fix from actually compounding is much more fun.
Yeah, definitely. The liquidity pools, I love the process of claiming my rewards, breaking it into the 2 coins,
exactly,
restaking, and yes, I'm compounding. I'm going from APR to APY.
Yeah, I was in a Polygon farm the other day, and it's a vault, and it auto does everything, and I was like, oh yeah, I've made some money, but it's not as much fun as doing it all day long.
Right out of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of APR to APY, I do have an APR to APY calculator. So the last Strong one, that's a free calculator. This is also a free calculator, APR to APY. So let's just throw in
Have you thought about doing a reverse one on that one too? Another tab?
I need to, so that people can see their APR from Ohm or Time or.
Yeah, because I sit there and do the reverse. I'm like, okay, if I put that,
Exactly. I have to mess with it. That's coming though, and that's
cool.
a wanted feature. So a lot of people see. Well, here's one thing that people don't understand. They see 150 APR go to 340 APY, or 300 APR go to 1,800 APY, but they don't get why 30 APR only goes to 37 APY.
Ah, yeah.
And so as the APR increases, the APY increases exponentially. And I wish people, because people look at like the Morpheus, if you stake your wrapped memo,
right,
which is like the
which I'm doing thanks to you, by the way.
Like you're getting 30% APR, but it's not going to go to much higher APY, unfortunately. Right. So it doesn't really make sense to compound more than once a week on that. There is another
every day
opportunity on Scarecrow. Don't know if you saw me tweet about it, but
what is it?
250%.
Holy crap!
I'll do a shout out to Grim. I like Grim Finance a lot. So.
I've had somebody else. Oh, you know who loves Grim Finance? I've got an interview I'm about to put out with the Phantom CMO, he loves
Grim Token. Is that Grim Token?
So I love Grim and Reaper, and here's why. And no shame or no shade to any small dexes and swaps, but I don't like coins from dexes and swaps. Like, I don't want spooky coin. I don't want boo coin.
I got you.
And so what these auto compounders do is they limit your exposure to those coins. They auto compound for you. So like, instead of getting the Scarecrow token, which might 10x, I think Boo 20x'd, which is awesome. I think Grim may have done like 5x too, but I just don't like exposure to those.
Right.
So, they auto compound for you, limiting your exposure to those coins. And look, like the wrap memo, I don't know what's going on right now. People must be doing a lot of trading on there, making that fee go up. But
holy crap,
APY. Now, important to note, there's a 2.4% deposit fee.
Right.
So if you get in when the APY is high, and you get that 2.4% fee, that's awesome. It's free money. You just raking it in. But if you get in on, let's say, the wrap memo that unfortunately I recommended, with now 44% APY, it's going to take you a few weeks to recoup that 2% deposit fee.
Right.
But after that, it's just free money. You're making money on the money that's making money.
Let me ask a question. I'm in Time or in Wonderland, but over on Avalanche. I was in wrap memo on Phantom for a while, but then I figured I'll just keep it all over there on Wonderland itself.
Sure.
How do you, in your mind, when you're running the calculations, how do you see the difference between wrap memo and what can be done on Phantom versus just staking Time on the Wonderland site at 62,000%, I think?
Absolutely.
Something.
So the beauty,
what do you think?
The beauty of wrapped memo is that wrapped memo internally accumulates those rewards. So even though you can't see it on the Wonderland app, every single rebase, wrapped memo increases in value, not in amount, which is important to know, but in value. And it increases exactly by the rebase percentage. So if the rebase percentage is now like 0.59, I think, percent. The underlying value will increase by 0.59%. And the way that formula works is it's the value of time times the real index, which is like 10 point something. Now the index is essentially how much time you would have if you staked one time before the very first rebase. So like Ohm, if you look at wrapped S Ohm versus Ohm, the value of wrapped S Ohm is like 27 times the value of Ohm, because that's how much Ohm you would have accumulated if you staked it at the very first time. So every rebase, that index is increasing.
So essentially, when you have memo or wrapped memo, you're accumulating value, not quantity of wrapped memo. Exactly. Whereas if you had the memo in Wonderland, you're just increasing the number of memo you have.
Yes, exactly right. So if we look at the current index of Ohm, it's 27.27. Hey, I like that, 2727.
That's cute.
Yeah. So that just means like if you had 1 Ohm before the very first rebase and you staked it, you would have 27.27 now. And during the next rebase, that number is going to increase. And the wrapped S Ohm price is going to be exactly the Ohm price times the current index. And because the current index increases with every rebase, the wrapped S Ohm price also increases with every rebase. So I don't mind taking my wrapped memo over to Phantom if it's increasing in value intrinsically and staking it, as long as I'm confident that I can make back whatever deposit fee there is.
Yeah, that makes sense. That'd be cool.
The best question, I'll wrap up on this final. Mm-hmm. If you're coming in now, a new person, would you, not financial advice and all that, but what do you think is easier for them to understand? Time itself or wrap memo?
Well, time itself is a very philosophical concept. But I would
Great question for the philosophy teacher. I love that.
It's the Ethereum blockchain.
A minute ago, you were going to calculate time, Stephen. So
Oh, was I? Oh, yeah. The Ethereum blockchain is very accessible. You know, people, it's like the very first place people get into DeFi is the Ethereum blockchain. And then some of them get really discouraged with gas and then they quit. So if you want to not discourage people with gas fees, I think getting them onto the Avalanche blockchain. Avalanche is going to have Avalanche Rush soon, which is going to pump a bunch of money into the blockchain, hopefully make a lot of these swaps more profitable.
Nice.
We'll see. I think the great thing about the Avalanche blockchain is that you can buy wrapped S Ohm, which is pre-staked Ohm, which is increasing in value intrinsically, and you can buy that for pennies of gas and just hold it on the Avalanche blockchain, and you're accumulating every single rebase. Additionally, you can buy time and stake it for pennies of gas and accumulate those rebases. So if you're willing to go a little bit further to get out of your comfort zone and go to the Avalanche blockchain instead of the Ethereum blockchain, you have Ohm and time opportunities there. And both of them are as easy to access. Now, I will say one thing is that there's semi-low liquidity on Trader Joe for the wrapped S Ohm meme pair. So you might get a bit of an impact in price. Right. But if you chalk that up to what you would have paid in gas, then it's
true. You know. Hey, have you thought, okay, I'm sure you get 400 suggestions a day for calculators, but it would be great to have one where you plug in that APY and the deposit fee and calculate your time to break even.
Based off your deposit fee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The closest thing I have is like this gas/fees per compound. So the reason I built this is for tokamak,
I don't know how to say it.
Tokamak.
I'm having them on the show on the podcast soon.
Oh, really? It's awesome. I'm a huge fan.
Great.
I think it's tokamak. It's the reactors. I think I forget if it was like Russia or
Scoopy pronounces it tokamak. I think that's how he pronounced it when I interviewed him.
I did a video on it recently, and someone in the comments was like, "Actually, it's pronounced tokamak." Or
sounds like a defined moment. When we were calling like DFYN for months.
Yeah, we kept calling it DFYN, the exchange, and found out it was actually defined. So,
so the basic idea was like when I was compounding that, it would cost me $60 in fees every time I did it, and I wanted to know, like, is it, and 7 days per cycle on that protocol, would it still be better to compound, or is it better just to hold? And that's the reason I built this calculator. And so, you plug in the numbers. If it's going to cost you $60 to compound, and you have a base APR of 300%, if you compound, even though your fees are eating like half of your earnings each week, you're still going to end up with 720% APY, which is better than your 300% APR.
That's awesome.
So
that's great. That's great. Your tools are really useful, Stephen. I guess it comes from the perspective of you're actually using them, right? You're not just trying to create a calculator because somebody says they need it. You're using them in your own investments. Exactly.
So I've tried to create calculators for people, and really, if I don't understand your investment or the financial scenario surrounding what you're asking me, it's just not going to be good work.
Yeah.
And you might say thank you and give me a pat on the back, but probably it's not going to be exactly what you want. So I don't do what's the word for when someone pays you to do something? It's like
calculators for hire.
Yeah. There we go. I don't for hire anymore. But I do take suggestions, and if it's a project that I like or I'm bullish on, I'll definitely go ahead and make the calculator.
So did you move out of Morpheus into Grim?
So what Grim does is Grim connects with these swaps. So this actually is the Morpheus right here.
Oh wow! Okay.
So it auto compounds your Morpheus for you.
So this is similar to Dracula on layer 1 Ethereum, I think, which also does something similar.
I wonder if that was the inspiration. So there's
maybe
Grim and there's Reaper, and both of them have I know, not the same team.
Right.
They both have nearly identical features, but totally different UX.
Got it.
Like if we look at Reaper right now, which is where I'm at because they are paired with Liquid Driver. I love Liquid Driver. I think it's potentially one of the best swaps on Phantom.
I've never even seen it.
No, I have no sponsors. I'm a free agent, but I just do it. But anyways, if you go to Liquid Driver V2 and you look at like the APR, or sorry, the APY, because these things auto compound, you're getting 336% for a stable pair with Phantom, and I'm super bullish on Phantom.
Damn.
And so I like
that.
No,
So
I love Phantom too, and I love stable pairs like that.
So on Grim, you go ahead and set up the LP on Morpheus or on Scarecrow.
You don't set up the LP. You get the LP token, but you don't stake it there. You stake it on Grim.
Okay, so you bring it to Grim to stake directly, and the LP's living on. Okay, got it.
Exactly. Yeah. So you'll click buy token. It'll take you to Spooky Swap, for example. Once you have the token, you'll just approve it. Then you'll select whatever percentage you want to deposit, and you'll deposit. And there it is. You're done. It's auto compounding for you. Come back and see your daily 6.3% return on top, like a wrap memo, which is great.
So that's increasing on what's already increasing.
That's increasing your wrap memo, which is
incredible.
Not increasing.
Oh
like it's not giving you Scarecrow tokens. It's increasing your wrap memo, which is already internally increasing in value. So
that's beautiful.
I am waiting for something like this to exist on the Avalanche chain with Wrapped Ohm. Zeus hinted at incentivized liquidity providing on the Avalanche chain, but it hasn't precipitated yet. I'm a bit bummed about that, but I still think it might happen.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be awesome.
I think it has to, because if you have all the competing chains, you're going to be competing for TVL, then that's how you get pieces of it and pull people out to come to your chain. So I think you're absolutely right. One thing you talk a lot about Phantom too, a fellow Phantom enthusiast, Geist. Are you doing anything in Geist these days?
Love Geist.
Ave Cologne.
I don't want to be exposed to the token, but yeah, when there's any like market makers on a chain, it brings so much money into the chain. So big ups to Geist. Love them. Don't use them because I'm not really doing any lending right now. If I want to do leveraging, I'm probably going to do it on Taro because I like LPs, or I might use Yield. Not Yield. Yeah, Yield Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So do you go ahead, Joe?
Well, to finish up with that, the only reason I thought of it in this context was that, I was sort of looking at it and realized that, when you're earning all the vested tokens or tokens to be vested, that, you either click vest and it's over there for 90 days, 1 token equals 1 token in 90 days. But if you take the 50% hit at the beginning and then you lock them in the vault for 90 days, you end up making, twice what you started with. So, it's important people use tools like you have, because, when you talked about like the front load and how long it takes to recoup that, these are things that are healthy things to look at. And what I noticed is that since we talked about this a few days ago, other people have obviously noticed, because now the yield on the vault has got cut in half. So it's still profitable, but the market, arbitrages all of those inefficiencies in cool ways. So
I'm woefully uninformed in terms of the locking in the vault. I'm sort of allergic to locking my funds up, even though I know it often yields really good opportunities. And I think that's because, back before I was in DeFi, when I was on like CeFi or centralized, I did some locking up for staking, and I hated seeing my tokens go down and then like clicking unstake and then knowing I wouldn't be getting any yield for 4 weeks in some cases, or at least 2 weeks before I can get my tokens out. And I didn't like that feeling. So now I deal a lot more with, dynamic
real time.
So one, I just want to give a piece of advice to people who might be getting into swaps for the first time and seeing like, I won't do Reaper. I'll do Arc DeFi. So Arc DeFi. Oh, did they get rugged?
Uh-oh. That would suck.
They might have. But looks like they might have been abandoned. Maybe not. I don't want to say they did and like give FUD on a project. Here we go. Okay, so they didn't.
Oh, good. You got like 500 people freaking out.
I know. So basically, what will happen is these projects will attract you with this incredibly high APR, right? When you have thousands of percent APR, that means you're going to have 15% daily ROI, right? Wow. Which is absurdly high.
Yeah.
And you're getting paid in the proprietary token, which is tanked. Last week, this token was worth $600. Now it's worth $1.
Wait, what's the proprietary token?
Arc, I think.
Oh, I thought you said
Brad's
tanked.
in now.
No, it did tank. It definitely.
Oh, it did
Yeah.
tank. I thought you said their token was named Tank. I'm like, are you kidding?
It's on sale, 600 for one right now.
Right. Yeah. So basically, what you do is like if I wanted to put $10,000 in this pool right here, this APR would go from like 5,700 down to about 100%.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
you suck it all up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think they got rid of their deposit fees. That's interesting.
Oh.
I don't know if they had an automated compounding version of this on Reaper or Grim, I might consider it because then I'm limiting my exposure to that coin that's very clearly tanking.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like there's anything conservative in your investment life.
What do you mean?
I mean, you probably invest more like I do, which is you're not doing kind of long-term, more conservative, old school blue chip investments. Now I think Ohm, frankly, is a very safe, not financial advice. For me, Ohm is what I consider very safe because I've met the founder, spent a lot of time talking to him, interviewed him for my show, and I understand what they're doing and believe in the model, right? So for me, that makes it safe in my own analysis. But I also love jumping into crazy, scary, stupid things for a couple of days and seeing what happens. So,
yeah, I will say there are levels of stupidity. I try to mitigate. Like if I wanted to go full ape, I would take that ARC token when it was at $600, and I would have staked that ARC token for the 70 million % APY. And watch it go from $600 per coin to $1 per coin.
Yeah, that's ugly.
That's an ugly play.
Yeah,
but like with Phantom, it's a good chain. It's got money flowing into it. I don't mind being exposed to a stablecoin Phantom LP pair. That's the only pairs I'm in right now. I also like Meme. Meme is a token, and I know it's pronounced Meme because I saw Danny say it.
Good.
I was calling it Mim for the longest time. But I will say, like Anchor is a really nice protocol. It's on the Terra ecosystem. You get 20% APY on your stable coin.
Oh, nice.
I think Luna's going to blow up. I think it's doing good things already, the Terra ecosystem. So, and you can also increase that 20% APY, which you can get insurance on, by the way. So you can take 2% of that and get insurance on your yield. And no bank in the whole world is going to give you anything near 19 to 18% APY.
Yeah.
On your money, right?
Insured. Well, I mean, it'll be insured, but not like, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, and you can insure it, and you can double that APY with Mirror. So I don't know if you guys know about Mirror, but you can get like pseudo stocks or like 1-to-1 pegged stocks there, and you can do a delta neutral strategy. A delta neutral means no risk because you're shorting and longing at the same value, and you can and then you can put your tokens into a farm and then get an additional 20%. So you have 40% APY on stable coins, relatively low risk. But like for me, that's about as conservative as I get with my investments, which I know isn't very conservative. It's still kind
of. But I like that one. That's actually, that feels very safe sounding, right?
Safer, yeah.
Safer. That's awesome. What so is there something like in the last couple of days you've jumped in on that you think has a lot of potential?
So I've been comparing the different protocols on Reaper. Also, I will say there are tons of Ohm forks out right now.
Yeah, a lot.
Be super careful with those. There are a few that are gently endorsed, and I think that I hate to give sort of alpha, then everyone gets all the money, and then I'm sitting there investing when everyone has already made the money. But I don't care. I'm here to make people money, not myself all the time. I'm doing well enough. I'm super blessed. So
good.
Rome is the one that I would look at if you're looking at Ohm forks. Sure, there's Exodia, there's Z20, but with Z20 you have to understand that I think 4 people own like 60% of all the tokens. So they could tank at any point in time.
What's Rome? ROHM or ROME?
ROME.
Okay.
I want to say that's on the Polkadot blockchain.
Oh, interesting. I haven't done anything on Polkadot.
I know. I think it's going to bring a lot of people. The interesting thing about these Ohm forks is there's like one per blockchain, and what they're doing is they're inviting people over to these new blockchains, which I love for DeFi. I think that's amazing. And a lot of these forks are sort of claiming that they're going to maintain 33% of their treasury as Ohm, which is really good for Ohm. Sort of like, working together. Of course, Danny said the same thing with his time treasury. And then there was some back and forth between him and Zeus.
Back and forth, I think.
Yeah, but hopefully they still work together because I have a time bag and I want that to go well.
Well, I mean, when you look at what Danny's created, it's hard not to say I'm going over there too.
I know. I can't wait until Popsicle gets relaunched.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, there are just some people that you have an innate trust for based on how they operate and communicate. And that's definitely one for me.
Yeah, roamed out on Polkadot.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, it's not released yet. So this is your chance to be early. If you want to be early on an Ohm-esque project, Jaws has gently nodded towards Rome.
Okay,
which is really bullish for a lot of projects like these. I would stay away from a lot of them.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing your own research. I'm not going to endorse any forks.
Right.
But I will say the least dangerous fork, in my opinion, at this moment in time, is Rome, and that could change dynamically. So please stay on top of the news. Don't listen to what I say and then just throw your whole account into it.
This is not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
Telling you what to do with your money.
Right.
Absolutely. Do you still invest in Ohm itself as well as Time and some others? And by the way, if I ask you any question you don't want to answer, you can just say none of your business. It's fine.
I have said multiple times that I currently hold no Ohm. I love Ohm. I support Ohm. I think it's still going to do well. But I moved the majority of my funds from Ohm to Time because I think Ohm and Time are going to do relatively the same.
Right.
This was back when they had a partnership, and I was like, well, if Ohm does good and Time holds 33% Ohm in their treasury, then Time's going to do good.
Right.
If Time's APY is 3 times Ohm's, why not just hold Time, which is kind of betting on Ohm?
Yeah.
I'm also waiting for the Wrapped S Ohm mints or bonds with Time. I probably will get back into Ohm. So I made a decent profit with Ohm when the first time when it hit about 900, and I took those profits and moved them to Time, and I've been doing okay on Time ever since. My mom is still all in on Ohm, so she's doing incredibly well over there. I support Ohm, but I am not currently holding Ohm. I said I was waiting for it to move to another blockchain, and then it did. But I'm waiting for there to be some incentivized LPing over there before I buy some more.
Well, I'm actually split Time and Ohm with one, and then some others that I do some stuff for some people on all in Ohm because I'm just being more conservative, I guess, there.
Sure.
But I've actually been having that debate in my head back and forth with that. Look, at the end of the day, there's a lot more to earn on Time right now than there is in Ohm. And, like I said earlier, I do trust the team there. So anyway.
I will say Olympus Pro is coming to Phantom.
Awesome.
Which is
as Olympus or as a fork?
Oh, it's got some sort of spooky Halloweenish name thing, but it's the Olympus team. Olympus. It's gonna be
it is
Pro, and then some sort of like
nice
spooky Halloweenish edition. And the reason why I'm so bullish on that is because bonds on the Ethereum blockchain suck for most investors.
Yeah,
you're gonna pay, I don't know, 5 to 7% of your investment in gas fees for an 8 to 9% discount.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just not viable for a lot of investors unless you're doing $3,000 or more investments. Bonds are useless to you, which is why Time's APY is so high. On Time, when you mint, you can mint for like 7 cents and get a 10% discount on Time. You couldn't do that on Ohm.
No, that makes total sense.
When people bond and when people mint, that increases the APY.
Yep.
So Ohm is about to go onto a blockchain where gas fees are incredibly low. If that bond revenue in some way affects the APY, I see really good things happening for Olympus.
That's awesome. I had no idea that was happening, so I'm excited. That's great. I can't keep up with everything that's going on.
It's hard. Yeah, like I said, this is now my job. So
that's great, man. That's awesome. What else you seeing, or are you working on any other calculators right now?
I am, but I don't know which ones. Like I just sort of do bits and pieces here and there. So here's my calculators folder.
This
is the Hall of Shame, StoreX. see.
The Hall
So
of Shame.
I recently created, you've probably seen this one. I recently created this Rebase Calculator. Let me go to the original version, which I've updated.
Are you gonna? Do you have a website up that lists all of them, or just people get them on YouTube?
I don't. I put the links out on my Twitter. So on my Twitter, on my pinned tweet, all of my calculators are there.
Oh, good.
So currently, live prices are not working from CoinGecko. This is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
But not live prices do work. The cool thing about this calculator is that you can enter your ohm investment, your time investment, your climate investment, and your. I don't know if it's Hero or Gyro. It's probably Hero because they're going with the Greek theme, but I don't know. Actually, they have a gyroscope, so it's probably Gyro.
Okay.
And then totals, you can see what your totals from each of these would be.
That's awesome.
And if you go over here and you happen
This is the newest version of that one?
This is the newest version, yeah. And
okay, cool.
Prices hopefully will come back up later when CoinGecko gets their API working. But if you go over to totals and you happen to have 0, this is what you get.
I got it. All right. So I love that. Can you go back to that one, to one of the individual tabs?
Yeah, sure.
What I love on this calculator, some of the things I love on it are that you allow people to kind of say, okay, I want to make X dollars, or I want this much weekly desired income.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is, I mean, there's a lot of usefulness across the board in this, but I love those kind of self-planning tools, right? I think that's brilliant. When you say people can get weekly desired income, in your head is that weekly desired income that's just getting restaked, or is that where you envision people are actually shaving off that amount?
That's taking profit. So let's hop over to time, because time has such a high APR or APY that you can realize decent weekly income very soon. So let's say you have 2.5 time, which is a big investment for some people, but not really that huge for a lot of other people.
Right.
And so, if you're looking at $3,000, you want $3,000 weekly.
Right.
Because that's almost putting you in the 1% of income earners in the US.
Incredible.
It would only take you 15 days until you're reaching that. But let's say you want $2,000 weekly. Well, you're already there, right? You're already making $2,300. So let's go to $2,500. In 5 days, you're going to start making $2,500 a week. And what that means is you will have enough time to where that any additional time you make in 7 days, you can take that, sell it for USDC, still have the same amount of time, and make that the next week, and the next week, and the next week.
It's beautiful. So you could theoretically say, okay, I want to get to 5,000 a week.
Right.
And maybe what you say to yourself is, okay, I want 5,000 a week. I'm going to put 5,000 a week in here, but I'm going to keep 2,500 in and take 2,500 out to live. Right. But at the end of the day, this is a brilliant way for people to kind of plan their strategies. Right. And obviously this is dependent on prices and everything else, and current APYs, but it's a brilliant tool. Really is. Now you're making me want to just move the rest of my ohm over to time.
What would you do all day? What would you do all day?
This. Talk to you, Joe.
The show would get a lot longer.
We'll just keep the Twitch stream going all day.
We'll just go 12 to 6 every day, man.
There you go.
It's a Seinfeld episode.
I'm sorry, honey. I can't pick up the kids. I'm talking to Joe.
Yeah. I will say there was one new calculator that I made. It's not super exciting. It's not a flashy one, but it has to do with Danny. And I know that Danny's still a hot topic right now. Love him or hate him, he's doing really interesting things in the DeFi space.
Yep.
One of them is his partnership with the Terra ecosystem.
Okay.
And so you probably may have heard some rumors about this, but he's creating a mechanism where you can collateralize your AUST and borrow meme for it. Up to 90%, which is a huge DG play. So
yes, definitely.
It's a stable for a stable. So unless it's a depegging, it's not that bad. But still, I have 97%. Let's put 90 just for fun. And so with Anchor, you can get 20%. But if you loop that, what I mean by looping is if you take your AUST, collateralize it, borrow 90% meme against that, sell that for UST, put it back into Anchor. Each one of these is a loop. So each time you would do that, here's how your APY would increase. You go from 19%, one loop, 37%, go down to 10 loops. At 10 loops, you're making 130% APY on stable coins.
Wow.
On just meme and UST. Now you can't insure that yet. you have the risk of liquidation. I think at some point during one of the bigger dips last year, UST went down to 0.8 or 80% of the dollar, and that would have liquidated anyone doing this. So
right, because your margin there gets slimmer and slimmer and slimmer the more times you loop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe you want 80%. I think is reasonably safe. You wouldn't have been liquidated even at the biggest dip. And so still 90% APY on stable coins.
Stable coins. That's phenomenal, man.
Amazing. So this hasn't been released yet. According to Danny, everything is ready to go. Even on the front end, they're just waiting for maybe some other things to launch. So
yeah, that's amazing. Hey, did you see this thing Zeus put out the other day? I haven't taken the time to dive into it. I wondered if you'd seen it.
Stop sharing my screen so you can.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to even remember what he called it. You know what? I'll save it for another episode because
I probably know what you're talking about. He is in 2 other projects. One of them is Fiat DAO, and the other one.
There was something with this was actually, I think he put it under the Olympus website or Gitbook. Was what did it call Stage? It was something about swapping stables for stables in a pool. I haven't read it yet. I just was wondering if you'd seen it. And
no, I'm not gonna check it out.
I don't even know what the purpose of it was because I didn't dive deep enough to figure out what he was doing. Let me see if I can find the tweet about it. He did a thread on it.
So it wasn't.
Here we go. Nope. I don't remember what he called it.
I know.
I'll try to find it.
About.
Yeah, he did like a thread on
okay.
I don't know. I'll try to find it. We'll talk about it another day.
Okay.
But Stephen, how can people connect with you? How would you like them to connect with you? How would you like them to send you money for all the money that you've helped them make?
Well, if you want to send me money, I always take tips. So on all of my calculators, at least most of the calculators that I release, there's a contact and donate at the back. You can contact me. I will always do my best to respond within 24 hours. But a lot of people are contacting me now. I won't give financial advice. If you ask me which one's better, Time, Ohm, or Roam, or whatever else, I'm not going to tell you because I don't know. I can't predict the future. I can just say, I'll tell you what my investments are because I'm transparent. But my MetaMask is there if you want to donate. My PayPal is there if you want to donate. If you want any of my paid calculators, you can contact me on Twitter or Telegram. Just send me a message. Tell me which one you want. You pay me, I send it to you. My Strong Calc Pro with live prices is pay what you want. So you give me a donation of any size, I'll give you the calculator. Additionally, if you donate to a charity instead of paying me, that counts as payment. So if for my
that's awesome.
If you show me that you paid $85 to a charity, then I will give you the tax estimator.
That's fantastic, man. Love it. Love it. That's fantastic. You should put this on every tab, though. I didn't even know that. I hadn't even looked at that tab. That's more people should pay you. I'm serious. It's phenomenal what you're doing, man. And your YouTube channel is amazing as well.
My YouTube channel is the Calculator Guy. I try to get things out a lot, but I got a 1.5-month-old, a 2-year-old, and a 5-year-old. So some days.
Holy crap! Those are no sleep days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keeps you thin, at least,
That's true. Very true. Yeah. So there's my YouTube. I have no sponsors. I'm not even paid by YouTube. So
look,
all my opinions are my own.
Stephen is the perfect example of what I love about DeFi, and that is it's people giving back constantly to make it better. Whether it's people, getting into a war room to try to stop an exploit that's live and happening, and projects that are rivals helping each other out. Whether it's people doing postmortems on those kinds of things, people training people on how to get in. This is you are a perfect example of one of the things I love about this space, man, because you're giving back to everybody and helping all of us do a better job of understanding these projects and calculating and figuring out what we can and should do. Well, so thank you.
Bravo. Well said.
Stephen, would love to get you back. I would have you on every week if you want, but I would love to get back on and chat again as soon as possible because I know that you're kind of diving really into cool stuff that we may not run into. So thank you for your time today, and go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, when Tranquil goes live on Harmony One, I would love to come back and talk about
Yeah.
that blockchain.
Okay, awesome. I'll check it out.
Market maker. I think it's going to do a lot of big things for. It's a balancer clone.
Okay, awesome.
So, but thank you so much.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Just one final thing for everyone listening. These are the kind of tools that he has that you need to kind of look at, because for DeFi 2.0 or whatever, you need to understand where all the costs are coming from and really evaluate the returns better. And this is a great head start to understanding how it really works if you're new, or to use it if you're an established player. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate this. Very helpful.
Thank you.
All right, man. Have a great day. Thank you again.
You too.
Take
Bye,
care.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Oh, man, I love that guy.
Are we still going, or are we stopped?
Yeah, we're live, dude.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
No, smart dude. I mean, I like the way he thinks, and
I love that he's got his mom almost retired. That's so good. That's so awesome.
Yeah, I just wonder what the end game is for a lot of these. I mean, Ohm better than I, and in Wonderland time, I'm like, hey, yeah, some kind of funny stable coin thing, but it's not pegged to the dollar. It's just trying to make some kind of currency in that platform. I mean, how do you think those all end?
Oh, well, I'll tell you that. Look, I mean,
out.
I interviewed Zeus. His mission is to be the reserve currency. Like he is not fucking around. His goal is to be the dominant reserve currency of digital cryptocurrency DeFi. That's what he wants to be. You can see in his tweets that he fully believes that that Ohm could unseat Bitcoin, that it can be a dominant player in the space. So he's got a big vision. He worked his ass off to plan this thing. Like I said, in the podcast episode I did with him, he modeled this thing out hundreds and hundreds of times before he launched it. And he's working to make this thing the power play in crypto. And so do I think he can get there? I don't know, but I sure as hell know that so far, everything he thought would happen has happened with it, right? He says in the interview with me that his models are coming out exactly how he thought it would happen. So I think that has potential. Maybe every blockchain has its reserve currency. So, you got Wonderland. For one, you've got another one, this new one that launched on, what did he say Rome DAO was launching on?
Which one?
Phantom.
Rome DAO, that was Polkadot, I believe.
Polkadot, that's right. So, maybe every project has that. I think that longer term for Ohm, I think these integrations are just going to keep growing. And I think there's this class of projects. I've tweeted about it. I've talked about it. Scoopy and I talked about it from Alchemix. I think there are these class of projects that will be the DeFi 2.0 projects. And these projects are going to become very tightly integrated, right? You've got all these awesome projects like Alchemix that are now taking advantage of the Olympus Pro bond offering, right? Because they realize how powerful it is to own your liquidity. And so that's where Alchemix wants to move. That's where other projects want to move. They've had dozens of projects come and want to be a part of Olympus Pro. So I think what happens is we start seeing in DeFi 2.0 a really tight integration of all of these projects. And then somebody's going to get smart and build an interface to all of them, right? Where you have a dashboard that you're not logging into Olympus, you're not logging into Alchemix. You can do all of your interactions in one place.
Well, I think that's where this sort of between the nodes or between the chains strategy, when we look at things like, Atom, Cosmos, any of the cross-chain liquidity, pricing, anything that can do it all seamlessly where you're not having to navigate across. I mean, I kind of see where you're going with this Olympus now, and that it's sort of beyond the chains.
Yeah.
In a sense that you're in between them in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And another player doing crazy shit right now is Frax. He's coming back on the show in November. Sam Kazmian, brilliant guy. He's launching what they call the Frax price index. And his goal, what he said in the interview with me was, we have to replace the consumer price index. It sucks. It's a piece of shit. And we need one that's attuned to crypto. So, I mean, these guys are taking on like the financial building blocks of the economy. And they're not afraid to try it. And that takes, first of all, to think you're capable of it takes some guts and some brains and some balls. But the other thing is, to then actually build it and experiment with it. It's all an experiment. It's all crazy. It's all nuts that we're doing this. But out of all of this experimentation and all this trial and error, we're going to end up with, as far as I'm concerned, a better financial system. I think we already have a better financial system in DeFi. I think we're going to have one that's amazing, just incredibly fast and good. It's funny. I was listening to, what's the guy from Shark Tank, Mr. Money? Is that his name? Anyway, he was on Pomp's show yesterday with Jeremy Allaire from Circle, the guys that make USDC.
Yeah.
And he was walking through all of the bullshit he's having to go through with his auditors and compliance people just to buy USDC. And he's an investor in Circle, right? But he can't even just buy USDC so that he can start transferring funds amongst his entities, I guess, or whatever his investments are. Like, he's going through audits and checks and compliance and blah, 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 just to buy that.
Because he's Circle.
No, he's not Circle. He invests in Circle because he's a registered fund. And I guess whatever he's going through, just buy Circle for his entities, his financial institutional entities, it's a total nightmare. And it's insane. It's like, and he was talking about how his vision is that, eventually he's not asking for permission for this shit. It's part of the system. Now, I'm not a fan of USDC because it's centralized and they can blacklist wallets, but and shut down DeFi, frankly. So I want us to move away from USDC, but to things like Frax and Liquidity, LUSD and ALUSD from Alchemix. Those are all great alternatives. But what they go through right now to process and invest is beyond stupid. It's just a level of just ridiculous. So anyway.
Well, yeah, you have to think that, the regulator types are looking at these potential $70 billion holes.
Yeah.
And then you throw on the Doge and SHIB, it's another like 120 billion hole potentially. And so they just look at it in a sense of, if that goes to zero instantly, what happens? Yeah. And so that's why you're in the US regulated system. You're going to, and you have fund money, regulated money, basically. You have to be really careful what you do and don't do, so you don't get hit up with the fraud charges and things if, you mess up and make a bad call. So that's just, the cost of doing business on it.
Yeah. But look, I mean, that there are so many people in the middle of this shit that we can eliminate. Right. And at the end of the day, it comes down to, I tweeted this morning, I said, in quotes, we have to protect people from losing their money. And I wrote, don't you mean we have to prevent people from maturing, learning life lessons, creating wealth, or being better? Right. The fact is that people don't learn how to do better with money and build wealth until they fuck up and lose it. And that's the bottom line. And we have this attitude in our regulatory system that we have to prevent people from losing their money. And the fact is that in this sheep thing, there's going to be a bunch of people win, and there's going to be a bunch of people that lose their money. And the people that lose their money are going to have learned the lesson that the people that won are going to have to go to the next sheep to learn their lesson. Right. And if we don't look, you and I, we've both fucked up royally and lost a lot of money in our lives. Right. But we're better at it today because we lost that money then. And nobody's told us in crypto, you're not allowed to risk that money, right? Nobody said you can only risk this much. And that's what bothers me most about the regulatory framework, is that our enforcement doesn't protect people from scams. All you got to do is look at NKLA, Nikola, a complete and total fraud in the institutional system with reporting, part of the SEC regimen, and screwed over however many thousands of people that got screwed over because it was a total fraud. And the SEC is a post-loss regulatory body, right? Well, okay, so they can come in and enforce and fine people and try to recover people's money, but they're not preventing people from losing money. So this idea that we tell the guy who works at Walmart that he's not allowed to lose more than he can afford to lose, to me, is silly. So that's why I get so riled up about regulators. I don't think we should be a nanny state. I don't think we should protect people from themselves. I think people have to learn how to be smart about what they put their money in. So,
yeah, that's what she said. But my feeling is that I think everything you say is right. But I also see the other side of the argument too.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's sort of like, you know, there are bad actors out there.
Yes.
Who use the PSYOPs and everything else to, you know, part people from their funds.
Yep.
I think in like a Nicola, that was the guy who was pulling the electric truck around with the F-150 pickup or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Did that ever go public or did it? Ever get
it's
outside
publicly traded. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if individuals had gotten in at that point because usually that type of
this
fraud.
These were retail investors that got fucked on that one.
So I'm talking about like the accredited investor stuff, early stage. You know, most of the Walmart people aren't going to get into that because they
but to me, they should be able to if they want to.
Well, I think that's where, like, when you look at the Jobs Act of when was that, 2010, 28, 2012, I can't remember, that launched all the crowdfunding and all of those initiatives was about kind of breaking down that accredited investor sort of wall. And it did. And it was one of the main drivers of, you know, ICOs and crypto and all of that because, you know, enterprising chaps found a gray area there. Pantera, look at what they did with that. I mean, they cleaned up. So I think it kind of led to breaking down. I think that's why you have this dichotomy right now. I mean, you can go access the stupidest crypto shit you want and you're free to lose your money. But you can also do it somewhat intelligibly. Maybe you're not able to understand execution risk as much, but there's timing when you get into these deals and get out that you can sort of pick up on.
Yeah.
And take the gains.
Here's what I think.
But you're right.
I look, at the end of the day, the SEC should say, sign this waiver saying you don't care if you lose all your money. Now go do whatever you want to do with whatever other people create. And everybody else, here's some educational material. Here's some content. Here's how help you to understand. And here's all the nice, safe, conservative shit that'll pay you 0.0006% per year. But you will never be wealthy. You will always be working wherever at the job you hate, and you're not going to be able to take part in these opportunities. And that, you know, to me, the wall to people actually making money is what DeFi is breaking down. And, you know,
let me ask you, a quick question. I'm not an online gambler, but like DraftKings and all of those fantasy leagues, I mean, there's the straight up betting ones and there's also the fantasy. Do they only allow accredited investors or can
I bet you can go bet there. No, of course, you know, you could play the lottery. We don't stop you. We don't stop people from buying 150 fucking lottery cards at the 7-Eleven every week.
That funds free university education for
yes, it does. Administered by bureaucrats.
Yeah. So, and like all of those types, exactly. Dumb bureaucrats usually. And I'm talking about state level, obviously, not federal level. But to me, it seems like if you can make choices to do that, or you can make choices to call your bookie, or you can do all of those types of things, that, you should be able to do this too.
Yep.
And because you actually have when you're betting a horse race or a football game, I mean, do you have control over any of it?
No.
How hard's the horse going to run?
No.
Is the jockey pissed off? Is the
you can't change your mind.
Yeah.
You can't get out. Yeah.
You know, football game. I mean, spread. I mean,
yeah. You can't do any of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So to me, if you could go do all that shit and not really have control over any of it, roulette too. Think of that. I mean,
you could go to a Native American casino in most states, or Vegas,
and help with the repatriation strategy.
lose as much as you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't invest in complicated startup formations. Give me a break.
Yeah. Well, I think that's,
you literally know that the casino has an edge and you will ultimately not win if you stay playing. We know it. We know that the casino will win, but you can do that for as much as you want, but you can't invest in the genomics startup that might cure cancer, right? Because you're not sophisticated enough to make that decision.
Well, today you can, Brad. Put up the handy wallet address for everyone. We're launching a new genomic startup right now on the spot, everybody. That's a joke, okay? Obviously. But not really.
Next week.
It's a joke. No, it's not a joke.
All right, buddy. I got to get out of here. Right, I got a 1:30 meeting.
It's today Thursday, right? Yeah. Okay. So
it is.
Your kids have school tomorrow?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have some action going on in the background tomorrow.
One of mine's going to be in Orlando at Halloween Horror Nights. So
that's right. Halloween's coming up. Oh, that's right. I heard talk of a bunch of parties this weekend.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Well,
have a great one, man. Thanks.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Calculator guy. Love to have you on.
Good job bringing him on. I like him. Steven's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. Check out his YouTube channel. Check him out on Twitter. Fantastic guy. I'll put it in the podcast show notes when I post the podcast later today. Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye.